this is designed to avoid litigation or save us from litigation, then 5 would seem to be the exception that swallows the whole rule, because it says that the Department of Revenue can deny to hear the petition if there's some other adequate legal remedy. And I'm here to say that there's almost always an adequate legal remedy under the Colorado Declaratory Judgments Act. I mean, we can sue the government almost any time if we're just seeking a declaratory judgment. So maybe we should change the wording of that somehow, because I think we're looking to supplement adequate legal remedy. We're not driving people towards courts. We want to have people use this cheaper, easier, quicker process instead of going to courts if possible to get an answer. And I don't have language at the top of my head, but I can maybe take a crack at that one. And then the other concern on the second page there on the D5, it allows any other interested person to seek leave to intervene in the process. And so I think under F, we should also maintain all petitions on the website. So if somebody petitions the enforcement authority, wants an answer to a question, maybe there's 30 other people who have that same question, but they would have no way of knowing that that petition had been filed unless we had a regular notification process in place and people can check the website. And maybe, just maybe, we could even have, given that people are spending $7,500 for the licensing, perhaps all of those people who have the license could just be automatically notified by email or some other device that this petition has been filed, you're interested, you have a right to intervene, and if you're not, then don't. But it just to keep the public information and the information among the licensees going. And I think, as Mr. Bruder said, I think we should specify that this is going to be on the website, not just open for public inspection. And so I agree with that. But I think we should include under F, files of all petitions, requests, statements of position, and declaratory orders. So the minute a petition is filed, it gets posted and it's public. And then maybe we should consider notifying all the licensees about it, so if they want to participate, they can.
Well, they are notified if it's published. I mean, they're presumed to be aware. I mean,
I don't want the burden, no offense, but the additional burden of forcing to email everybody in the industry, email addresses come and go, people come and go.
yeah.
I can't even go there in my head. I'm happy to post these things on a website to make it available, but no offense.
Well, we've worked with the Department of Health somewhat on notification issues and that kind of thing. And, the way I look at it is, I mean, if somebody provides his or her email address to you and says, notify me, and then that person changes their email address, I mean, that's their problem, not yours. But, at least, and if they do change their email address, they should tell you about it if they are requesting you to notify them. But it's a relatively simple matter for the department to maintain a list of email addresses. And, I mean, email is an almost free form of communication. You don't have to put it in a letter and put a stamp on it or anything. And it can be done quickly. Yeah, you'll miss a few people, but I think the people who really need to know, and these are business people, I mean, they're not going to be checking your website every week, with all due respect. They're concerned about caring for their patients first and foremost, paying all these fees and complying with this, ocean of regulations that so they're not focused on that. But if they receive some affirmative notice from you, it might effectuate the process and make it a better process that involves everybody.
Thank you, Dan, because I have been waiting since Ed spoke. And I actually have to say that we have not had a very democratic process. I've had my hand up between every single speaker. We've been in a culture of interrupting, and I don't appreciate that. So I've been trying to set a good example by waiting. Couple things, and a couple things that I had thought about have been covered by all the interruptive people. But the one thing that I want to say to back Rob up about what he's saying here is that I feel as a business owner, if I got an email pertinent to a petition that pertained to me, you're going to get much better feedback at your office, because all the people who are interested in, let's say it's a petition pertinent to me, all the people in our industry that are interested will give you their feedback, and you'll have one petition with sort of more of a class action as opposed to everybody trying to petition about the same issue. Because if it's a controversy for my business, it's probably gonna be a controversy for somebody else in my industry, and you're gonna get the same or similarly worded petitions, but differences in the wording may result in different interpretations by someone like Kelly. So I would say that doing what Rob suggests, at the very least attempting, because the onus is on the business owner to maintain their relationship with you, and if they fail to do that, that's not really your fault, but trying to even just do it by alphabetical, for each center throughout the state, you're gonna get more feedback if you reach out to the far-flung centers in Aspen and in Durango. Those people need to be represented in this conversation too, not just the people who are in Denver and have time to come to this, facility, because I have a lot of facilities that I work with that are far-flung that are gonna have the same issues in each little town, with different local authorities, but with each little town, there's gonna be 1 or 2 dispensaries as opposed to hundreds. And those are gonna have different issues versus a dispensary here in town. And putting that out for everybody, these people have paid a lot of money for the privilege of having this license. I think it would be great if we put back the services to them, and it'll streamline our process. I also think that if we get into a situation where it's difficult to make a decision on this, we meet twice a month. Why not cover those topics in our meetings and get feedback from this group?
You can just put an RSS button on the website, which that we offer. Just put a key, just a key button, just so we can subscribe to the page. And then we can pick up our own, figure out our own, just a
I'm lost.
That's all
What's an RSS feed?
all you need is feed it in, keep your reader.
I would add to what Jess was saying, in that not only would it be a benefit as far as centers are concerned or anybody in the industry, but this would actually be, I think, of great value to local governments. If they, like I was saying, in terms of putting an RSS feed, they can plug in there, they can get